Oi oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam back with another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form, or a branched evolution, or a counterpart Pokemon. We have a look at the differences between those Pokemon and we try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a Metronome battle between the Pokemon in question. If you're a fan of the Form Fight series and you're ready for more, hit the like button to show your appreciation for this series, and of course hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. But with all that out of the way, let's have a look at today's challenges. Today we're going to be comparing the four forms of Castform: normal, rainy, sunny and snowy. When there's no weather in effect, Castform will be in its normal form. In harsh sunlight it'll be in its sunny form, in rain it'll be in rainy form, and of course in snow it will be in its snowy form. It will change form once again if the weather in effect ends or is changed via a Pokemon's move or ability. But what makes these four forms so different? Let's take a look. The Pokédex tells us that all four forms of Castform stand, or float, at 0.3 meters tall and weigh 0.8 kilograms. The Pokédex data for normal Castform tells us its form changes depending on the weather. The rougher conditions get, the rougher Castform's disposition. Although its form changes with the weather, that is apparently the result of a chemical reaction and not the result of its own free will. For sunny form, it says Castform changes to this form when it basks in bright sunlight. When you touch its glowing skin, it feels all dried out. This is the form Castform takes on bright days. In an experiment where Castform was placed in front of a heater, it didn't change to this form. The Pokédex data for rainy forms says Castform changes to this form when rain hits it. Its body is soft and slightly swollen with water. This is Castform's form when it's pelted by rain. In an experiment where it was placed in a shower, this Pokemon didn't change to this form. And finally, for snowy form, it says this is Castform's form when caught in a hailstorm. Its whole body is chilled and its skin is partially frozen. This is the form Castform takes when it's hit by hail. In an experiment where it was placed in a freezer, it didn't change to this form. In terms of appearance, these four Pokemon forms all share the same basic shape, just with the three alternate forms having extra add-ons to represent the different weather conditions that constitute their chain. When it comes to the shiny forms, normal Castform changes from grey and white to lilac and yellow. However, sunny, rainy and snowy Castform don't actually have different shiny forms, so they stay the same. Now let's have a look at their typing, weaknesses and resistances. In its normal form, Castform is, as you'd expect, a pure normal type Pokemon, making it weak to fighting, resistant to nothing and immune to ghost type attacks. Sunny form is a pure fire type, making it weak to ground, rock and water type moves. It resists bugs, steel, fire, grass, ice and fairy type attacks and has no immunities. Rainy form is a pure water type, so it's weak to just grass and electric type moves, but it resists steel, fire, water and ice, and of course has zero immunities. And finally, snowy Castform is a pure ice type Pokemon, which makes it weak to fighting, rock, steel and fire, resistant to just ice, and again immune to nothing. Now we'll take a look at the stats and abilities of these Pokemon forms. In fact, this might be the quickest stat section ever, since all four Castform forms have the same base stats, and those stats are all the same. They're all 70. Every last one. Castform's four forms also have the same ability, since Castform starts every battle in its normal form, and that ability is Forecast. This ability is what causes Castform to change into sunny, rainy or snowy form depending on the weather in effect. Now it's time for me to decide which of these four forms of Castform, oh my... Please try saying that 3 times fast. Four forms of Castform, four forms of Castform, four forms of Castform. Okay, actually it's not that hard. It's time for me to decide which of these four forms of Castform... Okay, maybe it is hard. It's time for me to decide which of these four forms of Castform I prefer. And I'm going to go rainy because I'm a water type trainer. I think the little teardrop shape, the little raindrop shape is adorable. And other than that, I mean, what else have you got? It's got the same stats as the others, it's got the same ability. There's no real tactical advantage to this Pokemon apart from the fact that it's a water type and I love water types and it's adorable. They're all pretty adorable, except for the normal one because it just looks like it's really happy to have its weird booby ball things out. But it's not just up to me, it's up to you guys as well. So let me know which is your favourite, but not yet, because first we're going to see these Pokemon on the battlefield. It's time for the Metronome battle. Before I get started, I will point out these Pokemon all have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats. They're not holding any items or anything like that. They all have the same ability, although they've been specially bred to not have the Forecast ability, because otherwise they'd all just change to normal form at the start of the battle. So really the only advantage or disadvantage comes from these Pokemon's typing. Everything else is all up to the Metronome. Let's go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Castform, sunny form versus normal form versus snowy form versus rainy form. And I know what you're thinking. Some of these Pokemon are on the same side of the battlefield, so can't hit each other. Don't worry. All the positions have been chosen by random number generator to make it as fair as possible. Speaking of making it fair or unfair, normal uses agility to sharply raise its speed. It's now going to move first on every turn, unless someone else can become faster than it, which I highly doubt. Razor Leaf coming out from snowy form, going to be super effective on rainy and do a little bit of chip damage to normal. That's a good start for snowy. Here we see rainy coming back with sunny day. Gonna give an advantage, to be honest, to sunny form, because now the stab boosted fire type moves are going to be even more powerful. Well, good job there, Rainy. Rainy, I'm not sure I like your chances in this one. Here comes Sunny with stored power. Bit of a numpty move to use stored power when you've not stored any power, so there we go. Little tiny bit of damage to Rainy, but it's not looking good for Rainy, is it? Let's not count him out, but it's not looking good. He's a bit dumb. Here we see Sky Uppercut from normal onto Sunny, doing a decent amount of damage for the first hit of this game for normal form. And we see Struggle Bug coming out, going to hit both opponents on the other side of the field. By Sunny, dropping the special attack as well of both normal and rainy. A lot of multi-hit moves coming from the snowy and sunny side. Snowy coming back with false swipe, doesn't want to kill, just wants to maim a little bit, doing a little tiny bit of damage to normal form. How will Rainy respond to all this? Going for Forest Curse, gonna change Snowy's type, adding the grass type, which means Rainy is now the same as Abomasnow, grass and snow. So it's 4 times weak to fire type attacks. Keep that in mind for any fire moves that come out from this side of the field. Play nice from normal form, gonna lower the attack stat of sunny form. How will that play out? Who knows? Snowy coming back. I'm scared of Snowy. Snowy's got some scary stuff going on. Goes for Guard Split, although of course it's got the same defense and special defense and all that as rainy form, so I don't think that makes much difference. Here comes Sunny. What's Sunny got in store? Confusion. Gonna go for a Confusion on Rainy and gets the Confuse as well. I told you it doesn't look good for Rainy. What's Rainy gonna do? It's gonna hit itself in Confuse. I told you. I love Rainy. It's my favorite form, but I'm gonna count it out at this stage. I think Rainy just doesn't have what it takes. Normal, what have you got for us? High horsepower on Sunny. That's super effective. That was a hell of a lot of damage. That was fantastic. Well done, normal form. Snowy, what have you got for us, dude? You got Stealth Rock. You're gonna just waste a turn. Okay, I mean, if you get hit with a fire type attack and get KO'd in one hit, don't come crying to me. Rainy, what have you got? You're in trouble. You need to recover or you need to deal some quality damage. Goes for Toxic on Sunny form, getting revenge for all those hits. Gives Sunny only a couple of turns left in this match, so if you've got some crazy strategy, Sunny, I'd love to see it because you need to pull out the big guns now. Goes for Howl. I mean, it is going to raise its attack stat, so I suppose now it can hit harder. But it's only bringing its attack back to normal after that play nice from normal form. So it's not really... The ball's not in Sunny's court either here. Normal coming back with Guard Split. Another Guard Split. Why is everyone using Guard Split? It's completely useless in this particular Metronome battle. Snowy coming back into the action with Clanging Scales. My word. The signature move of Kommo-o. Down goes Rainy. I told you to count Rainy out. Lowers the defense of Snowy, putting it in danger. But normal, it's not looking good for normal either now. My goodness. Here comes Sunny with an Absorb. Going to get a little bit of its HP back in exchange for some of normal's. Putting normal into the red, bringing itself back into the yellow. The sunlight fades, but unfortunately, we're going to take some toxic damage in the Sunny world over there. It's not good for Sunny. Here comes normal. How will normal respond? It's kind of 2-on-1 at the moment. Heat Crash! Who's it on? Is it on Snowy? Oh my goodness! That was incredible! And of course that was 4 times effective because of that Forest Curse from earlier. I thought that was going to KO. We see Grudge coming out from Sunny. What a complete waste of a turn. You could not be wasting turns when you have Toxic on you. How will Snowy respond to that Heat Crash? That was incredible. Goes for Strength Sap. Oh my goodness. Gonna lower the attack stat of normal in exchange for a heap of HP. What a brilliant play that was. Fantastic, getting all that HP back. As Sunny dies to the Toxic, it's down to Snowy and normal, and the advantage is all Snowy right now after that Strength Sap. That was incredible. How is normal going to get out of this one? Goes for Discharge. Got to be hoping for paralysis here, surely. Tiniest bit of damage to Snowy there. How's Snowy going to respond? Oh my goodness. Outrage, it's over. It's gotta be over. Outrage on normal at 28 HP takes it right down. Snowy, with that strength sap from before, that saved Snowy's icy bacon. That was amazing. My word, what a battle. So you've heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon in action on the battlefield, now it's time for you to make your decision. Which of these 4 Pokemon forms do you prefer? Do you prefer normal Castform, sunny Castform, rainy Castform, or snowy Castform? Let me know in the comments below and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. If you enjoyed this video, of course hit the like button, it helps me out massively, and if you're new to this series, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video from me. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam, keep on training.